Hey, it's John Trout, Cider Blossom Orchard. It's Monday, May the 3rd, Monday evening. I've got a few chores to take care of out in the orchard this evening, and I thought I'd take you along. If you like this video, hit the like button down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, maybe go ahead and subscribe. That'll help get this channel circulated around YouTube just a little bit. And if you think I've been helpful, then maybe we can help some others. Let's go take a look at what's going on in the orchard. Well, first, I want to make a trip past the rain gauge and just see how much rain we got there overnight last night. I sprayed the trees 2 days ago. That magical number is kind of 2 inches. If you get 2 inches, you really start to wash stuff off. So let's look at this gauge here. Okay, the rain gauge does not show 2 inches good. We're sitting on about a half right there. So we're still good to go. Got more rain coming, so I wouldn't reapply sprays anyway. The gold rush trees look pretty good. I've got a couple of things I've got to grab. One of those from this barn would be this T-post driver, because we're going to stake a Wine Crisp apple tree. I've got a T-post over here as well. I'm not going to be able to take you along in my hand and carry these other two items, so I'm going to have to set it down for just a minute, but let's pick up a T-post. I need a pretty tall one here for the apple tree. See, these have been here just a little while. There. Okay. There. You thought I left you behind, didn't you? Let's go. Boy, somebody really needs to mow this orchard. A little bit of fertilizer, plenty of rain, and orchard grass grows. Look at the rye. I told you it was dead and didn't know it. It knows it's dead now. Still a little bit of an unkept appearance there, but that's okay. So where we're going, right down here in this row of semi-dwarfs, below this new trellis row. I'm still working on the trellis wires. I've got 3 in place. We're going over here to a Wine Crisp apple tree. Now, this Wine Crisp tree is on G935 rootstock. I planted it 2 years ago. It was a grade 1 tree, so it was a nice tree when I planted it. And of course I planted it with some TLC. See the graft union down there? This came from Cummins Nursery. And this tree did not flower last year, was covered in blossoms. This year, now you can see it's covered in Wine Crisp apples. Despite the cold nights, despite the snowfall 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, things look pretty good. But if this tree's not staked and I let it grow some apples, it's really going to start leaning over. So I thought I'd come down here and stake it. It needs to be done anyway. G935 is a tree that's about 40% of a standard. But, hey there, buddy, a little spider. Eat the bad guys. The G935 is about 40% of a standard. But it really requires staking. I think the recommendation is it's recommended that you permanently stake, but certainly in its youth, it does need some staking. And if I let this grow some apples this year, and I'm going to, it's going to need staking. So that's what I came down here for with the T-post. No big secrets here, but what I will do to keep from damaging this root system with this T-post is come in at an angle so that the T-post is kind of crossed over. You'll be able to see when I zoom out here. But kind of crossed over so I can get away from the roots, but still get up against the trunk for that support. So I'll show you how that goes. but you can kind of see when I tied the top string tight, it loosened up the bottom one. So that should be elementary, but I messed that up. Now I gotta undo the bottom one and retighten it. Okay, that is going to provide that tree some good support. When it puts on some apples this year, it's going to hold tight to that stake and really just not fall over. And it'll get stronger as the years go on to where that stake could maybe be removed, but at this point I'll probably leave it. We should have a lot of wine crisp apples, as much as this little tree can bear anyway. But it's got an apple everywhere. I'll definitely have to thin this out. Okay, I want to show you another mistake I made. Okay. So here, just not too long ago, I planted two #1 Pixie Crunch apple trees, G890 stock from Cummins Nursery. Just beautiful little trees. Like this one's even going to try to blossom. These were planted about 3 weeks ago. Planted two of them here on my semi-dwarf row. This row may not last forever. It may be taken out for a high density row, but it's going to be here long enough. It's worth planting these trees because I think these could be important to the future of the orchard. But I want to grow a couple out first, see if I like them, see how they grow here. And boneheaded me in spring. This dead branch is a story for another day, but it's not fire blight. Silly me in spraying this Fuji tree and rounding the corner with the mower and the sprayer, ran right over this Pixie Crunch tree. And you can see where I've taped it up for aesthetic purposes, mostly because I couldn't stand to look at the wounds. I scraped it completely off on one side as I drove over it with the mower. This one's going to try to bloom as well. So just a mistake on my part. I'd be surprised if the tree dies. It's going to make it. It's likely going to hurt it. It's going to have a pretty ugly scar there as it grows into maturity, but it's an apple tree. It's tough. But a couple of Pixie Crunch trees there that maybe in 2 years we can try a Pixie Crunch apple. Okay, so thanks for joining me this Monday evening, and this was another mistake. There's a good story there. So thanks for joining me this Monday evening, and we'll be back in the orchard soon. Thanks for watching.